tell your doctor, because we don't mess with that anymore. There is no adult in this entire world that should be eating 1,200 calories or less in a day. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. We are going to be going over some of the myths that you guys have heard in the fitness and the health industry, and we are going to be debunking these myths. I'm going to be letting you know which things that I think are true and which ones that I think the fitness and health industry has got us thinking about all freaking wrong. So we're going to dive into this video. I popped a little question box up on my Instagram asking you guys to put in comment things that you hear in the fitness and the health industry about losing weight or working out or health or nutrition, anything like that. We are going to debunk fitness and health industry myths together. So let's dive right into this video and go through some of the most popular ones that you guys said. One of the responses that I got is carbs make you gain weight. That is such a common thing that we hear about in the fitness and the health industry. We hear that you need to cut out carbs completely from your diet in order to lead this quote-unquote healthy lifestyle that we always hear about. We hear that you won't be able to be healthy and be fit and lose weight if you don't cut out carbs completely. That is one of the biggest myths in the fitness industry. Carbs are not your enemy. So we've talked about this before on my channel, but just to recap, carbs are our body's primary source of energy. So when we're working out, bumping on the treadmill, working out, lifting, our body wants first and foremost to take carbs as that primary source of energy. So when carbs aren't available in your system, your body has to then go towards fats or towards protein as a energy source, but it's not a preferred energy source. So carbs are not a bad thing. The thing that I think people get confused about is they group all carbs together as a whole, but what people don't understand is that fruit are carbs. Vegetables have carbs in it. Anything that has sugar, whether it's natural sugar or added sugar, has carbs to it. So I think so often people get into their mindset carbs are bad, but that means if we cut out carbs completely, we're cutting out fruit, we're cutting out vegetables, we're cutting out things that are really good and beneficial to us for other vitamins and minerals that we need. I would say the biggest thing that I can suggest if you do want to lower your carb intake is to lower your refined carb intake. So that are things like white bread, white rice, things that for the most part serve absolutely no nutritional value. They're processed foods. Things that are whole wheat pasta, whole wheat bread, those are things that have all of those natural ingredients, natural minerals, natural nutrients right in them. Nothing is fortified, nothing is processed by a machine. So you are going to be getting more bang for your buck. So carbs are certainly not bad. Everything in moderation, guys. You should not be cutting out a single food group in your life. So if you are someone that is cutting out carbs, they are not bad. So never let anyone convince you that they are. It's just we need to be reworking how we think about carbs and maybe leaning more towards the whole wheat carbs than our white carbs. The next one is cardio is the only way to lose weight. This is another huge myth in the fitness industry. People think that the biggest way to lose weight is be doing a ridiculous amount of cardio. I found myself falling into this trap as well, time and time again. I found myself falling into a habit and a lifestyle where I thought that the only way I was going to get fit and get skinny and get lean was to do an hour and a half of cardio. I've talked about that again on my channel, but I also want to point out that that is a total myth in the fitness industry. In order to be able to lose weight, it is not just about doing excess amounts of cardio. Diet plays a huge role in losing weight. To be able to lose weight, you do need to be working out and leading a healthy lifestyle in that way, but you also, what you eat and what you put into your body plays a huge role. Like I've talked about, when it comes in terms to losing weight, calories in versus calories out is your biggest determination. To be able to lose weight, you have to be putting out more calories than you are taking in. So cardio is an awesome way to really increase the amount of calories that you're burning, but it's not necessarily the only way. We need to be also building muscle, so doing strength training is super important too. Muscles actually burn more calorie than fat, so having a very muscular figure working on building those muscles actually will increase your metabolism as well. So it's definitely not the only way to lose weight, In order to be able to lose weight, we really just have to be focusing on the amount of calories that we take in versus the amount of calories that we take out. Cardio is an awesome way to increase that amount of calories that you are burning. However, it's not the only way. It is super, super essential to be lifting weights, to be mixing up what you are doing to get exercise, but also really honing in on the food that you are taking into your body, because quality is just as important as quantity as well. People have natural abs without trying. I would say that this is a true thing that you can hear. I think that everyone's genetic makeup is completely different. Some people don't carry a lot of excess weight in their stomach area. For me, myself, when I gain weight, the first place that I notice it is right here in my stomach. I lose it in that bottom lower belly region. When I gain weight, it's the first place it goes to, then it goes to my face. So everyone carries weight differently, and some people don't carry excess body weight. So I think that's really important to keep in mind as well. Some people's figures and some people's genetics, your genetic makeup is so important in your ability to lose weight, gain muscle, lose muscle. Everyone is built genetically differently. So just because someone may be naturally more lean than another person, that doesn't mean that they're less fit or more fit. But some people may have natural abs without doing a ton of ab workouts because their genetic makeup has always just made them pretty lean in that area. But they may carry their excess weight in their butt or in their legs or in their arms. So everyone is very different. So I do believe that some people do have maybe more defined abs without trying, but that also is just their genetic makeup. Skipping breakfast makes you lose weight. This is definitely one that I think a lot of people believe in, and this is probably one of the biggest myths in the fitness industry. Skipping breakfast or skipping a meal in general is not the way to lose weight if you are trying to lose weight. Our body is built as if we are still like caveman searching for survival. So if you skip a meal, your body actually goes into survival mode. So that means that the next thing that you put in the body, the next meal that you eat, your body takes that all in and it stores it as fat, because it's like, I don't know when I'm gonna get my next meal. So let's eat as much as I can and just store it, because what if I don't eat for another 2-3 days? So when we starve ourselves or when we skip a meal, that our body takes the next thing that we put in and stores that all as fat. Well, if you were eating breakfast and you were kind of like just having a normal routine, it would store some of it as carbohydrates, some of it as fat, and then we would be able to move on and burn our calorie sources accordingly. But when we are kind of depleting our body of different sources, our body goes into survival mode. And when we're skipping breakfast, we are lessening the amount of calories that you are taking in. So probably over a course of a time period, you may see weight loss, but you also may not, because your body is taking in whatever calorie is that you eat next. So let's say your next meal is 900 calories. Let's say your next meal is 500 calories. Whatever that calorie amount is, your body is taking all of that in and using it as fat source, because they're storing it up because they don't know when they're going to get fed up again. Our body doesn't realize that we're skipping it because we're trying to lose weight. Our bodies and our metabolisms are built to be fed often, to be fed when we're hungry, to stop when we're full. It's not meant to starve ourselves in order to lose weight. So if you are skipping breakfast because you think that is the key to losing weight, you may see weight loss because you're taking in less calories throughout the course of the day, or you may not, because your body is going into survival mode and it's storing all of the next meal that you have instead of just dividing its energy sources accordingly. It's normal or healthy to work out 7 days a week. I think this is a really hard one to answer because it's so different for every single person. I don't think that it's normal to work out 7 days a week, but if that is what fits your goals and if that is what suits you, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think in the fitness and health industry, we tell people, and the industry tells people, that you need to be working out 7 days a week in order to lead a healthy lifestyle. And that is so far from the truth. There is no reason that you should be working out 7 days a week if you don't want to. You can 100% be fit, lose weight, gain muscle, and reach your goals without working out 7 days a week. And I think the biggest thing that this myth gets people into is a very destructive relationship with exercise. We work out because we feel like we need to, not because we want to. And I think that getting movement in some way, whether it's just walking around your house or going for a walk in your neighborhood or playing outside with your dog or getting a lift in, that's all good. And I think you should be aiming to get some sort of movement, whether it's intense or not, probably about 6 days a week. But that doesn't mean you need to be doing intense working out 7 days a week. So I do think this is a huge myth. You do not by any means have to work out 7 days a week. I know people who are super skinny. I know people who are super toned, who only work out 3 days a week, because that is what best suits their particular body. My biggest suggestion is to find what works best for you and your body type and you mentally, because fitness should never be a chore. It should never be something you force yourself to do. So never let anyone convince you that in order to have abs or to lose weight or to gain muscle, you need to work out 7 days a week. If you like working out 7 days a week and that is what suits you, then do it. And don't let anyone tell you you are not allowed to do it. But if that's not what best suits you and you don't feel tired and you feel fatigued and you feel run down when you work out 7 days a week, you don't have to be doing that to be fit and to be healthy. So never let anyone convince you that you should be working out 7 days a week and that's the only way that you'll be able to lose weight or gain muscle or be healthy. That's not true at all. One bad day of eating causes weight gain, even if only a little bit. This is one of the biggest myths in the I know I keep saying that. This is one of the biggest myths in the fitness industry. But like, this is such a huge myth that I think people hear and that people genuinely convince themselves of, that if you have one quote unquote bad day of eating, or if you eat unhealthy one day, or if you go out to eat one day, or if it's the holidays like it is this time of year and you eat a lot of excess food that you normally wouldn't eat on Christmas or on New Year's or whatever holiday you celebrate, that you're going to be gaining weight. And while you may feel bloated and you may feel a little bit like just puffy, and that's normal, and that doesn't mean that you're gaining excess amount of weight. Sure, you may see like a pound or two different, but every single person probably fluctuates the amount that they weigh by about 5 pounds. From one day to the next, it's pretty common to see yourself, if you were to weigh yourself every single day for 5 days, let's say, it's pretty common to see between a 5 pound difference every single day. And that can vary on what you're doing every day. If you have a lot of really salty food, water loves salt, so you're going to feel extra bloated. That's why when you eat fast food, you feel extra bloated, because salt loves water, so they like cling to each other and you feel super bloated. So that's kind of normal. That depends on how much you exercise that day. It depends on how you slept that night. So many things play a factor into those different 5 pounds of a difference. So sure, let's say that on Christmas I ate 2 or 3 plates full of food, which who the frick doesn't on a freaking holiday, or extra cookies or cakes or whatever, that I may wake up the next day and feel a little extra bloated and just full and a little bit puffier in some certain areas in my stomach, but that doesn't mean that I've lost progress, and that doesn't mean that I've gained excess amount of weight. Once you continue on your normal routine, whenever that holiday is over or you get back on track, let's say, you will take off or lose all of that little extra bloating that you have. You're definitely not gaining weight throughout the course of the holidays, or if you eat out one day, you're definitely not going to see crazy amounts of difference. You may see a pound or two, but like I said, everyone varies a little bit, and that is totally normal. So we need to stop getting into the habit of weighing ourselves every single day or weighing ourselves twice a day, because even what you weigh in the morning to what you weigh at nighttime, a lot of things have happened during that time period. I've eaten food, I've worked out, so like so many things are going to be different from one point to the next. So to sit here and convince ourselves that because we're 5 pounds heavier or 3 pounds heavier from when I woke up in the morning to when I go to bed, that I've had a bad day, that's crazy. We can't think like that, because that gets in a very destructive mindset about health and fitness and weight and the scale, and I won't do it. So what I can tell you, if you find yourself getting into the mindset of that, oh my god, I've gained so much weight, I've lost my progress after one day, take a moment and reflect and be like, listen, can I go my whole life without ever eating Chick-fil-A again? Honey. So it's a lifestyle, and that's part of our lifestyle, and everything in moderation is okay. So if you have one quote unquote off day where you eat a little bit extra food and you don't work out, that's totally normal. If you feel a little bloated afterwards, it's no big deal. Once you get back into your normal routine, you won't feel that way anymore. So definitely that's a huge myth. And the BMI matters. So this is something that I think we are starting to work our way out of in the fitness industry, but this is a huge myth. So for those of you who may not be aware, BMI is body mass index. All this looks at is someone's height versus their weight. So for me, for example, I am 5'3", and let's say I'm around 140 pounds. I haven't weighed myself in a little bit, but let's say I am around 140 pounds. They do a calculation of your height over weight, or weight over height, I can't remember it off the top of my head. One of those two divided by the other, and that is your BMI number. There is a scale. It is very hard. If you are, let's say, a shorter individual like myself, it is very hard to fall into a quote unquote normal BMI range. And that's just because of how it functions. It doesn't look at anything else. It simply looks at the number that pops up on the scale and your height. So for someone like me who is working out and who lifts weights and has muscles on my body, it doesn't take into consideration my body composition. It just takes into consideration my actual weight on the scale. So my weight on the scale is made up of my fat mass, my muscle mass, my organs, my water weight. So many different things is made up of on that number on the scale, but all BMI looks at is that number. It doesn't take into consideration how much muscle mass you have. I could be 100 pounds muscle, which I don't think I am, but I could be 100 pounds muscle, which is not a bad thing, that's a good thing, but BMI doesn't look at that. So BMI does not matter. If you care truly about your body composition, BMI is not the one to look at. You need to be doing a body composition test, or just stepping onto a scale that has the body composition features that it'll tell you your percent body fat. That's more of the number you need to be concerned about. Your percent body fat number is more of a concern than what your BMI is. So it's a huge myth in the fitness industry, and I think we're moving our way out of that mindset that BMI matters, but I know doctors talk about it. So if you find yourself at the doctor's office and they tell you that your BMI is too high, tell them to knock their off. It's not something that we're concerned about at this point anymore. You should be more concerned about your percent body fat than the number that your BMI tells you. All right, I'm only gonna do one more because I don't want this video to be crazy long. If you guys have really been enjoying this video and you like to hear me talk about and break down some of the things that people hear about time and time again through fitness influencers and in the health industry, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to do like a part 2 of this video, but I'm going to wrap it up with just this last one so that way it's not like 27 minutes long. Our last one is it's normal to eat 1,200 calories in a day. This has been like a thing that's going on right now. Like we're talking about how many calories is an appropriate amount, how many calories isn't an appropriate amount. I have talked about this, but I'm going to reiterate it because I feel so freaking passionate about this. There is no adult in this entire world that should be eating 1,200 calories or less in a day. Let me repeat that in case you really need like a moment to soak that in. There is no adult in this world, unless you are prescribed it by a doctor, that should be eating 1,200 calories or less. And here's why. I'll break it down for you, for those of you who do not believe me. Our body burns calories every single day. Let's say you are a very sedentary person. That person still burns calories because our body has a basal metabolic rate. What that means is that if I lay in bed all day long, I did absolutely nothing. I didn't get up, I didn't pee, I didn't pick up my phone to look at Netflix. I literally laid there all day long and did nothing but sleep. We would still be burning calories. We need to burn calories to keep our organs alive. We need to keep calories to keep our heart pumping, to keep our lungs breathing. We need to burn calories to be able to do basic functions of life. Every person's basal metabolic rate differs. However, for the average person, your basal metabolic rate could be, let's say, 800 to 1,000 calories per day. You're putting out without doing a single thing. So you mean to tell me, these people who believe that 1,200 calories is enough, you only need to be eating 200 calories more than your basal metabolic rate? No. Because most people aren't laying in bed doing absolutely nothing all day, day in and day out. They're getting up. If on a very lazy day where I'm just lounging around the house, walking to my fridge, eating food, I probably am still burning, let's say, 1,000 calories actively by doing things. That's not even taking into consideration my basal metabolic rate. So if you are only eating 1,200 calories in a day, you are just reaching your basal metabolic rate calories, which means you are burning anything else that you do in the day over that amount. The reason that this can be so dangerous is that our body needs food to function. It is a fuel for our body to be able to do things, to be able to keep our body alive, to be able to walk down the steps, to walk out the door, to drive our car. We need energy. Our body already is burning a certain amount of calories just by living. So if I walk out to my car, I'm burning calories. If I am not eating enough food, over 1,200 calories, I'm not going to be able to do those daily functions. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be exhausted. If you're female, you're going to skip your period. Your bones may feel weaker. You're going to have so many negative effects on your body that you may not even realize that you're doing, because there are so many needs for food in our body. Our body needs fuel. It's an energy source. It's not just something that feels good, makes us taste good. It We need it. We need food. Food is not the enemy. I'll tell you time and time again. No adult should be eating, in my opinion, I'm not a dietitian, so don't come for me in the comments. In my opinion, no adult should be eating less than about 1,500 calories in a day. Food is not the enemy, and no one should be eating less than 1,200 calories a day as a grown adult. That is about the recommended amount for like a toddler or a young child whose basal metabolic rate isn't very determined, and we're just trying to keep them at level. We're not trying to gain weight, we're not trying to lose weight, we're just trying to keep them at level. Even if you are trying to lose weight, you shouldn't be eating less than that amount. That is a huge myth. Please, for the love of God, as a grown adult, do not eat less than 1,200 calories a day. I am begging you. And if you want to know more about this particular issue, please pop questions in the comments down below. I would love to talk to you about it. I know so many people are very confused and very unsure about this issue. I know it's confusing. I know it is. I would love to help you. I would love to be a source of information for you and explain why I feel the way I feel about it. But I know that this is confusing, and I know the fitness industry tells us that less is better to be able to gain muscles and to be able to lose weight. People, they tell us that less calories is better, and I'm sitting here telling you that that is not the case. You need food to function. You need calories to function. Our body burns calories just being alive. So we need to be able to fuel our body past that amount to be able to do anything else. Boom. I know it's controversial. I know people have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I know you can eat 1,200 calories a day for some people and still be able to go through your daily functions of life. But I'm sitting here and telling you that that's still not healthy. Even if you feel fine and you don't feel hungry when you eat 1,200 calories a day, that is still not good for your overall health. That's the only thing I want to get across here. Just because you feel okay doing it, there's still things going on inside of you that you may not be aware of that are negative consequences of 1,200 calories in a day. So please, 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 as a grown adult, be eating more than 1,200 calories in a day. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up our video for today. I know I didn't hit a ton, but I wanted to get in super in-depth in the ones that I did answer. I know that these myths, we have been fed time and time again in the fitness and health industry. You've been hearing it since the moment you've gone on social media. So I wanted to break it down and really dive into each one of these things and tell you my opinions on them, because it's so easy to believe them. I know it is. It's so easy to listen to the influencers we know and love. This is all my opinions, and I want to break down the facts behind each one of these statements that you guys told me. So if you wanted to see a part 2 of it, let me know in the comments down below. As always, please give this video a big thumbs up. You guys know I love you. You know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another video that I post. If you haven't already, check me out on my Instagram so you can see all the other fitness and health and lifestyle content that I post on there. And I will catch you guys here next time.